Hi everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. I just finished an 8-hour day. I had a long day. Spent the first hour of my day PT, physical fitness, and then the last 7 hours I was on the range. It is blood hot out there. It's 103 degrees out here with about 25% humidity. It's hot. I'm drained right now. I have a cold as well, so if I cough, sniffle, or sneeze, please forgive me. In today's video, we are going to be answering a question from one of our subscribers. He goes by the name of Alex Tex, T-E-X. And he wants to know, from what I got from his comment, is he wants to know, how do private security officers get paid more? The theory behind paying more is that you get to be more selective as the private security company owner. You get to be more selective on who you hire. You pay minimum wage, you're going to get somebody with minimum qualifications. So how do we get paid more as a private security officer? I touched on the subject several times, but let's approach it in a different manner. I was watching a video that Advancing Security made not too long ago. I will leave a link in the description box, but I can't find the video anymore. I'm not too sure what happened to the video, but if I find it again, maybe it was taken down. I don't know, but if I find it again, I'll post it. It was actually an excellent video. So Advancing Security recommends that if you want to get paid just to be there as a private security officer, minimum wage. If you want me to do a foot patrol somewhere, walk around the building, that's an extra 50 cents. If you want me to take reports, that's another 20 cents. If you want me to approach suspicious persons on the property, that's an additional 75 cents. If you want me to work graveyard shift, that's an additional 30 cents an hour. You see what I'm getting at? Every additional item or additional duty should require an additional penny, cents, a dollar on the wage. And eventually you keep stacking up your wage that way. I'm not talking about every single day, if you do this or that, or if you don't do this, you're only gonna get this much. I'm talking about a set wage. And Advanced Security actually makes a really good point. I've never ever heard this concept been discussed before. But that's one of the ways on how you can value your worth. Mike from DEFCON 3 Security, for some reason he stopped making videos. It looks like he's going through a very important transition in life. But his saying was, know your worth, know your value. Something to that degree. I can't say it like he does, but something to that effect. Know your worth, know your value. It's been a long time since Mike from DEFCON Security made a video, so I don't remember what his philosophy was, but it was something along those lines. Now, I am going to criticize that theory a little bit because let's just say I'm starting off in private security. I know my worth, I know my value. I'm worth $30 an hour. That's what I think. I've never worked security in my life, but I'm worth $30 an hour. Because I believe I'm worth $30 an hour, that means I'm going to get paid $30 an hour. And I don't believe that's that's accurate, guys. I mean, I believe I'm worth $200,000 a year, but I'm not making anywhere close to $200,000 a year. I love my job. I love my work. I love the people that I work with. Most of the supervisors, I like them as well. The chief that we have, he's doing good things right now. I don't have any problem with him anymore. I used to, but not anymore. I believe that my full-time workplace is progressing to the level that we needed to progress to. Okay, but I know I'm worth $200,000. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get that much. I believe that Mike's concept, it does work when you have that experience. Now, there's some people out there that they'll only have 1 day on the job or 2 days on the job, and they're going to be getting paid $100,000 a year. There's those people that are fortunate. They know their value. Okay, and they know how to present that value as well. Look at the security guard command. He's been doing security. He's been making videos when he had under a year of experience in private security, and then I think he's approaching the second year. He knows how to get $38 to almost $40 an hour. Okay, he's very confident in what he does, but look at his maturity level, and look at what he has accomplished in life, and look at all the falls in life. I mean, you keep falling all the time, you're eventually going to get up stronger. It's like doing air squats. Okay, you're going to do a couple of them, 20 of them, 15, 5, but you keep doing them, you're going to be resilient. And 20, 50 of them in one rep is not going to be anything anymore. Just like running as well. I don't want you guys to think that you'll start off most of the time with $38, $39 an hour. Again, security guard channel. He does have experience. He has a law enforcement background as well, and that helps, you guys. Having a law enforcement background and being very mature, just like the way he presents himself in the videos, that helps as well. Now, if you're watching the video and you want to make more money, okay, this is what I recommend. If you're starting off in security, work somewhere solid for 2 years. And I know we keep talking about Allied Universal and Securitas sometimes in a negative light. You got to just see all the comments also, by the way. I know we discuss them a lot, but those are one of those companies where put in your 2 years. Put in 2 years. There's so much turnover, so for you to be promoted to supervisor, it's fairly easy, you guys. There's a competitive process, but as long as you give it 110%, even for Allied Universal or Securitas, you're going to progress on the ladder. You're going to progress to a position where you're going to have perhaps different duties. When you have different duties, you have supervisory experience, a solid 2 years, you got to be patient. Then you're going to apply for these positions that pay how much you are worth. $20 an hour, $30 an hour, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever the number is. Okay? You gotta be, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta be patient in your security career. Don't be the person that jumps from post to post to post to post. Okay, security company. This security company sucks, let me leave. Let me go to this other security company. I work for a total of 4 security companies in my whole career. About 4, lost track. Anyhow, when I started at 18, I was jumping all over the place. That does not look good on paper. Solid 1 year, solid 2 years. I highly recommend 2 years. Solid 2 years, the same employer. Don't skip around. Build that experience, build that supervisory experience if that is available, and you just keep going up from there. Some of you are also wondering, why do securities get paid very little? Let me tell you why. You're supplementing the salary basically of a police officer, sometimes as a corrections officer. Most police officers out there get paid, I don't know what it is now, guys. I mean, on a national average, maybe about $28 an hour, maybe $30 an hour. Obviously, in California, some get $60 an hour, but it just depends on where you're located. Okay. Just keep pushing, you guys. I know some of you are miserable. Keep pushing. Solid 1 year, 2 years. So, what you're doing is supplementing law enforcement. You're supplementing corrections. Nobody's going to pay most private security guards who have entry-level experience. They're not going to pay them $60 an hour, $50 an hour. They're not going to pay them police officer pay. They're not, because in that case, there's some jurisdictions that they could go to. They can hire a police officer at $100 an hour, $60 an hour. So with private security, they're trying to cut cost most of the time. Most of the time, they're trying to cut cost. Also, your employer may have bid low on a contract that's solid for 3 years or 2 years. When they bid low on a contract, that basically a lot of employees are stuck with having a certain wage for years with the company, because that's what they bid. That's what the contract. That was a contract a couple years ago, last year or a month ago before you were hired. That's why employers are very reluctant to give wage increases, because they're not getting more money from the client. They should have bargained that from before. And by the way, if you are a security company owner, I recommend that you account for inflation. So every year or so on the contract, bargain for 2% increase, 3% increase. Okay, that way you can give your employees raises all the time, and then you can actually have a merit system where they've been here 6 months, they get this much amount, a year this much amount, 2 years this much amount. I worked for a company, solid, I think about a year, and then after that I went to the police academy. I came back, and then I think we were on year 3 almost, and then it was the same pay, you guys. I was working armed, $8 an hour, and that's covering almost a 3-year span. I mean, you got to do better for your employees, you guys. Okay. So, in summary, if you're starting off security, don't think you're going to be getting paid $30 an hour, $40 an hour, or whatever high wage that you believe, or whatever wage you believe is high. You got to put in your time. Those of you who've been security, and I did survey, by the way, how long you've been security. Some people have done it for 20 years, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, some 10 plus years, 5 plus years. You guys understand already that you got to put in your time. You got to put in your work. And with that comes experience. It just seems like after year 2, your wages should start increasing. So should your responsibility as well. But get to year 2 with just one employer. Okay? If you guys have any additional input, just let me know. You know, we all want to hear. We want to brainstorm on some ways on how we can get paid more in the private security industry. Okay, most guards are not unionized. There's no collective bargaining, so you're basically stuck. Otherwise, those of you who keep complaining after 2 years, 7 years, 8 years that the wages are still way too low, you have nobody to blame but yourself. If you don't like your work environment, you don't like your wages, then you got to go elsewhere. If company ABC will not hire you, well, there's a reason why they're not going to hire you. And what that reason is, I don't know. Okay, there might be some prestigious company you want to work for, and they keep turning down your applications. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at the security industry as a whole. You got to look in the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself, what can I do better? Instead of spending all that negative energy on this whole security industry is corrupt, the wages are going to always be screwed up, instead of just complaining and being so negative towards everything, look in the mirror and ask yourself, what can I do differently? What can I do differently? If you keep doing the same thing now than you have yesterday, you're going to continue to be on the bottom of the social economic scale. That's almost a guarantee. I made good friends with a buddy of mine. His name was Stan. I work with Stan when we work the $8 an hour gigs. Dedicated individual, family man, grandfather, tough guy from East Los Angeles. I'm not too sure he's watching my videos, but this guy was awesome. And he would continuously tell me at that time, Sean, stay in school, finish your college, and go on to better things. I'm just doing what I'm doing just because I don't, and I almost wanted to cry. You know, I couldn't graduate from high school. The type of environment he was in, it almost made me want to cry when he was telling me that. But look, Stan had to have 2 full-time jobs, you guys. 2 full-time jobs at $8 an hour, obviously more than 20 years ago. He's been in security for quite a bit. Stan, if I find him somewhere, his last name was Contreras, Stanley Contreras. If I find him somewhere, he probably has the same 38 special revolver. I'm sure he's somewhere, guys, but I don't want to be. Stan was in his late 50s. He's probably 70s, in his 70s, mid 70s now. Guys, I don't want to be in my 60s, 70s, 80s working a security post that pays minimum wage. Do you? Because I guarantee if you keep doing the same thing you're doing now, not doing anything different, you're going to end up minimum wage at the same job 20 years from now. So I'm sorry to be so honest, but that's the cold, hard truth. Let me know what your thoughts are, you guys. Take care, and I hope you do better.